Money, 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 $50 million wedding to say I do. Picture Venice's Jade Lagoon on a late June morning. Gondolas bobbing in the wake of 152 private jets that have just screamed overhead. The tiny island of San Giorgio Maggiore, usually open to tourists clutching gelato, is locked down tighter than Fort Knox. A $50 million I do is about to unfold, and the only way in is past black and gold barricades, a wall of armed guards, and a grey carpet that looks suspiciously like it was swiped from an Amazon warehouse. Cameras are poised, protesters are gathering, and Twitter is already foaming at the mouth. Yet, behind the velvet ropes, 2 billionaires are betting that the right mix of sparkle and secrecy can turn this weekend into a legend. But was it truly a fairy tale, or the most expensive branding exercise in history? Keep watching, because what leaked out from behind those barricades shocked even the jaded corners of the internet. The headline everybody saw was $50 million wedding, a figure floated by planners and repeated around the world. Forbes tried to be conservative, pegging the extravaganza at least 20 million, maybe 25 million. But local officials hinted it was closer to that eye-watering 50 mark when you add hidden perks, charter fleets, and round-the-clock security. Yet the real sticker shock came from Italy's tourism ministry. 957 million, about $1.1 billion in global media exposure, hotel revenue, and spin-off spending. That's 68% of Venice's usual annual tourism intake, generated by just 200 guests.
Logistics match the price.
WingX flight trackers counted 152 private jet arrivals in the wedding week, a 37% jump year-on-year. 30 of Venice's 280 licensed water taxis were locked down, shunting everyday visitors into long queues, while celebrities zipped past in lacquered mahogany boats. 5 of the city's priciest hotels, the Aman, Cipriani, Gritti Palace, Danieli, and the St. Regis, slammed their doors to regular paying guests. If money talks, this bash was screaming. Imagine scrolling a guest list that looks like the Forbes 400 had a baby with a Vanity Fair Oscar party. Leonardo DiCaprio strolls across a bridge, baseball cap low. Oprah sweeps off a water taxi, arm in arm with Gayle King. Tom Brady flashes the quarterback grin. Kim and Khloe drop into Venice in head-to-toe glam. Queen Rania glides through the cloisters like royalty incarnate. Even tech royalty showed. Bill Gates ducked flashbulbs while Elon rival visionary types lingered in the shadows.
On paper, it was the ultimate social flex.
In practice, it detonated a PR minefield. Climate warrior Leo found himself trending for the wrong reasons. Branded an eco-poser the moment paparazzi caught him heading for a diesel-guzzling launch. Kombucha tweeting influencers who preach sustainability posted selfies in front of a $500 million super yacht. Viewers smelled hypocrisy, and the scent only got stronger as more images leaked.
Lauren Sanchez emerged in a high-collared,
winter-weight Dolce & Gabbana gown, stunning in a snow palace, sweltering in 86-degree Venetian humidity. Guests looked like they'd shown up for 5 entirely different red carpets. Sydney Sweeney in bubblegum pink prom satin, Kim in copper vintage Versace, Jared Kushner in a midnight blue tux that clashed with Bezos' white dinner jacket. The internet dubbed the vibe Met Gala meets group chat without a dress code. But the biggest misfire wasn't on anyone's back. It was under their feet.
a broad gunmetal grey carpet sliced through the basilica, instantly compared to an Amazon fulfillment center floor. Memes multiplied. Alexa, order some romance. To round things off, women received black open-toe slippers, allegedly sourced from Amazon. Men were handed plush blue velvet loafers. The result? Photos where couture hems grazed bargain bin sandals, leaving even high fashion accounts speechless. Florals were minimal, lighting clinical, and the altar was framed for camera angles rather than intimacy. If elegance is cohesion, this decor was a group project where no one shared the mood board. From the moment Vogue announced it had secured the exclusive inside the ceremony photo spread, complete with a digital cover feature on Lauren's final dress fitting, the wedding became as much a media rollout as a marriage. Anna Wintour, days from exiting her legendary post at Vogue, personally helped Sanchez choose the winter weight Dolce & Gabbana gown, and is said to have signed off on every editorial frame that would later circulate worldwide. Behind that glossy partnership sat an army of public relations specialists working what industry insiders call performance PR. According to celebrity publicist Maya Riaz, events at this scale run like movie productions. Every camera angle scouted, every social caption pre-approved, and even spontaneous moments rehearsed so they land for the public. Staff and vendors signed sweeping non-disclosure agreements, ensuring nothing leaked that hadn't been filtered through the central command post erected on San Giorgio Maggiore. But here's the plot twist. Guests apparently never signed a thing. Actress Sarah Foster said on her podcast that no NDA crossed her desk, yet nobody dared post unvetted content. Foster chalked it up to peer pressure. When the room is that high profile, your phone kind of locks itself. Her remarks only fueled the sense that social silence was engineered by status, not contracts. That hyper-curated exclusivity fed the rumor mill. Less than a week after the ceremony, industry chatter claimed Bezos was quietly exploring a bid for Condé Nast, the parent company of Vogue, as a wedding gift for Sanchez. Whether boardroom fantasy or strategic leak, the story underscored how intertwined the couple's brand now is with the magazine that framed their vows. On site, the choreography was surgical. Photographers were penned into 3 fixed platforms. Drones were banned outright, and guest arrivals were staggered so each A-lister could be captured in flattering isolation before stepping onto that infamous grey carpet. Publicists manned temporary content desks inside nearby hotels, scrubbing metadata and timestamping official releases to beat paparazzi uploads by minutes. The strategy worked. By sunrise after day 1, 90% of images trending on Instagram bore the Vogue watermark, or the couple's own bespoke #BezosSanchez tag. Even pre-wedding social feeds were rebooted to fit the narrative. Lauren wiped years of family snapshots off her Instagram, relaunched with 2 cinematic posts, and then went dark until Vogue dropped its teaser reel. Bezos mirrored the move, swapping garage-era khakis for precision-cut tuxes and choreographed paparazzi strolls. Together, they looked less like newlyweds and more like co-CEOs unveiling a flagship store. The result? A wedding that blurred the line between intimacy and IPO roadshow. Proof that when you're worth nearly $200 billion, love isn't just in the air. It's under embargo until the headline package is ready for release. 3 days before vows, Greenpeace activists inflated giant crocodiles in the Grand Canal and unfurled a banner of Bezos laughing under the line, "If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax." Local groups staged "Venice is not for sale" marches, decrying the closure of public squares and blocked Vaporetto routes. The mayor countered with glowing economic projections, but residents pointed out that a short-burst cash injection doesn't solve housing shortages or rising water levels. Photos of tourists being turned away from the basilica went viral. For many Venetians, the wedding became a symbol of global wealth, treating their fragile lagoon like a movie set. Online discourse split. Defenders praised the city boosting millions. Critics called it tone-deaf excess in an era of climate crises and inflation. Either way, the lovebirds became lightning rods for debates far bigger than centerpieces and champagne. TikTok creators stitched clips of private jet fumes to Leo's UN climate speech. Twitter replaced power couple with carbon couple. The hashtag EcoPoser trended by midnight of day 2, propelled by side-by-side shots of protest banners and $500 million yacht Koru floating barely a kilometer away. Reddit sleuths dissected wardrobe choices. One viral post measured the carpet's Pantone value, dubbing it Amazon Fulfillment Grey. Instagram mood boards mocked the decor, replacing bouquets with cardboard boxes bearing Prime tape. Even late-night hosts joined, joking that Venice was experiencing Prime Day surge pricing. Instead of hearts and doves, the couple's brand collided head-on with the internet's appetite for irony, a collision that couldn't be smoothed over by any amount of gloss. According to guests who later spoke anonymously, the tightly choreographed schedule left little room for actual celebration. One called the heat-soaked lagoon crossing a glamorized shuttle bus. Another said the post-ceremony dinner felt more Davos than wedding. Introductions, photo ops, then quick exits back to air-conditioned suites. Sarah Foster later told Page Six she was surprised by backlash and hinted many A-listers deliberately stayed off camera to avoid drama. Behind the smiles, exhaustion set in. Makeup crews mopped foreheads, stylists steamed swept creased gowns, and planners hustled people like extras between takes. Multiple insiders claimed the vibe was press launch energy, a product unveiling with vows as footnotes. As the final fireworks fizzled, several attendees reportedly slipped away early, citing jet lag and the relentless heat. If love is a marathon, this one was run on a treadmill built for optics. Days later, paparazzi lenses spotted Lauren boarding Koru, left hand aloft, sporting a gemstone the size of a quail egg. Estimated cost, a couple of $1 million. Headlines shouted, "New ring, who dis?" while commentators wondered if the jewel was a subtle clapback to critics. Meanwhile, analysts were tallying carbon footprints. Activists were filing petitions for luxury tax reforms, and Venice's tourism board was cashing in on a $1 billion media spike. Bezos returned to space company duties. Lauren resumed Earth Fund appearances, both buoyed by an avalanche of press. Good, bad, and meme-worthy. The world kept spinning, but a question lingered in the humid Venetian air. Can an event engineered for prestige truly substitute for authenticity? Or does the pursuit of the perfect picture inevitably expose the cracks in the frame? So, was this the ultimate celebration of love, or a $50 million billboard plastered across a UNESCO World Heritage Site? Did it spotlight Venice's magic, or the widening gulf between the ultra-rich and everyone else? Drop your take in the comments. Smash that like button if billionaire spectacles fascinate you. Hit subscribe for more deep dives into headline-grabbing controversies, and don't forget to tap the bell so you never miss when the next perfect public image starts to crumble. Because, as this weekend proved, under enough spotlights, even the glossiest fairy tale can start to crack. And when it does, the real story is always far more gripping than the scripted one.